weird from the beginning. But according to what the New York Times is reporting tonight, what John Durham, this Trump-appointed, or Bill Barr-appointed special counsel, what he's preparing to do is charge this cybersecurity lawyer, Michael Sussman, with having told someone at the FBI that he was not representing a client when, in fact, he was representing a client. He conveyed this information, this suspicious information about the Trump Organization and Alfa Bank to the FBI. Hey, this has national security concerns. Hey, this is about to be in the press. The FBI ought to look into this. Here's the data that we think is basically what the New York Times has, that reporters are about to put out to the public. This has national security implications. Here, FBI, you should have it. And the basis for the prosecution, at least as reported by the New York Times, is that when Sussman did that, he told them, I'm handing this over not on behalf of a client. He says that he was doing it on behalf of his cybersecurity client who had dug up this suspicious data in the first place. But the suspicion here, planted by John Durham and company, is that actually Sussman was secretly representing the Hillary Clinton campaign when he handed on this information to the FBI. There is reportedly some evidence that Sussman billed some of his work to the Clinton campaign at some point. Again, his large firm was representing the Clinton campaign at the time. His lawyers say there is an innocuous explanation for that. But in any case, here's what seems to be the key point about this investigation. Quote, some of the questions that Durham's team have been asking in recent months, including of witnesses it subpoenaed before a grand jury, suggests he's been pursuing a theory that the Clinton campaign used their law firm to submit dubious information to the FBI about Russia and Trump in an effort to gin up investigative activity to hurt his 2016 campaign. Quote, there has been no public sign that he has found any evidence of that theory. So what that apparently leaves Durham with is a lawyer who gave the FBI some information he says he thought they should have. The FBI chased that down and decided, it's probably nothing. And maybe that lawyer, there's some question as to whether he fully revealed who he was representing at that time. Does it matter who he was representing at the time? As for why this case is being brought now, well, look at the clock. The meeting in question here happened on September 19th, 2016. What's today's date? September 15th, 2021. Because of a 5-year statute of limitations for such cases, Mr. Durham has a deadline of this weekend to bring a charge over activity from that date. Literally, the statute of limitations, I think, expires on Sunday. Here it is Wednesday, and he's rushing to get this done before the statute of limitations expires. This indictment has apparently not been filed yet. We do not have all the facts yet. Whether this lawyer told the FBI something untrue about who his client was, whether it matters who his client was when he gave this information to the FBI for them to look into, that is something that may end up being hashed out in court. But the big picture here, I mean, the substance of the suspicion around the Alfa Bank stuff was that this might be evidence of some means of covert communication between a U.S. presidential campaign and a foreign entity that was trying to influence our election. I mean, if you came across that, if you had some cybersecurity expert guy who was your client and he brought you that data, whether you were working for Hillary Clinton or you were working for Donald Trump or you were working for freaking Donald Duck, if you were a computer scientist or an experienced cybersecurity lawyer and who had the cybersecurity chops to know what this data meant, what the worst case scenario about what this would really mean in terms of our national security as a country, the responsible thing to do in that instance is to take it to the FBI. Hopefully, any one of us who came across data like this and didn't know what it meant but worried it could be something serious would take it to the FBI. That's what they tell you to do. If you see something, say something, right? Bring it to the FBI so the FBI can chase it down. Even if it proves to be nothing, that seems like the right thing to do, an understandable thing to do in this circumstance, right? Well, the special counsel appointed by Bill Barr left in place during the Biden administration and apparently left room to roam by Attorney General Merrick Garland is now apparently trying to criminalize that act. See something, say something? Well, if you said something about Donald Trump,